Collision tear holes in U.S. ally ships as tensions flare in South China Sea. They could have, instead of U.S. ally, could just say Philippines.
Yes.
So what happened was Chinese ships rammed into Philippine ships.
They love doing that.
I love doing that. I got a little clip here to tell you all about it.
Oops.
Oops.
Oh, okay. You got a clip, huh?
Yes.
Let's see this clip of yours.
First, you can look at the damage if you want. See that tape measure?
That won't buff out.
The Philippines and China have accused each other of ramming vessels and performing dangerous and unlawful maneuvers in the disputed South China Sea. It is the latest flare-up after the two nations agreed last month to try and manage disagreements at sea.
Unidentified foreign vessel at Sabina Shoal.
The incident occurred near Sabina Shoal in the early hours of Monday morning. China's Coast Guard said a Philippine vessel had ignored repeated warnings and had deliberately collided with its boat in an unprofessional and dangerous manner. The Philippines disputed Beijing's account, accusing it of imposing its version of facts. It said two Coast Guard vessels had encountered unlawful and aggressive maneuvers from Chinese vessels, resulting in structural damage to both vessels. The Chinese Coast Guard released this video of the incident, showing what it said was a Philippine Coast Guard ship deliberately ramming one of their vessels. The Philippines said the video is misleading. Here's the Philippines South China Sea Task Force spokesperson Jonathan Malaya.
Despite these incidents, both Philippine Coast Guard vessels remain committed to and shall proceed with their mission of delivering essential supplies to personnel stationed on Patag and Lawak Islands. The Philippine Coast Guard stands firm in its responsibility to ensure the safety and security of our maritime domain while addressing any and all threats to our national interest.
Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said China would continue to take lawful, resolute and forceful measures to safeguard its territorial sovereignty, maritime rights and interests.
So,
What a lame thing.
You know what territorial integrity is, by the way?
That's when you go and take other people's land by force.
Yes.
That's when you go and just put your military in their area.
Yes, yes.
And then when they come to say, what's up, bro, you ram them and say, this is our area.
Oh, you forgot a little stipulation.
What?
It's got to be very far away from your own country.
Yeah, super far away.
really
Yeah, like
far.
out there,
Way
in the
out
sea
there.
somewhere.
That's territorial integrity. And then so you ram them, and then you say, how dare you let me ram you?
Yeah,
Yes.
that type of thing.
That's literally what happened.
It's so silly.
It's-
It's such a bully tactic.
It's silly and it's dumb and it's like, oh, there's a hole in a ship now. But this is getting hot to the point where if you asked me 2 years ago, how do you think this whole world chaos thing's going to kick off? I'd be like, probably Taiwan, probably Russia, Ukraine, right? It's looking more and more like this Philippines thing is going to be the powder keg.
It might be.
It really is just multiple altercations all the time.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's absolutely crazy.
We'll keep you up to date.
We will.
The US has condemned the incident and said it stands by the Philippines. Sabina Shoal is in the Spratly Islands, which are claimed by China, the Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam.
They put a flag down underwater. Is that's the most insecure thing I've ever seen.
I don't care who does that.
This is ours.
I don't care who does that. I'm not even singling out China. Don't put a flag underwater. That's
Dude,
dumb.
it's so dumb. It's like going to the swimming pool. Like, this pool's mine. No, it's
Yes.
not. Swim down. Put like your name tag.
Yeah.
You know, stick it on the bottom. Write your
Yes.
name.
Yes.
It's so dumb.
This was a New York man arrested for operating as a legal agent in the Chinese government in the United States. This is what happened. You can go to the next slide.
This is so sinister, by the way.
This is so bad. So this dude, right? Oh no, go back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just two
Did he
stories.
just have like a race swap?
No, this is a different guy.
Different guy,
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So this guy, what he was a protester
Yeah.
in the Tiananmen Square protest in 1989.
And he got arrested.
Pro-democracy, gets arrested, finally escapes to Taiwan, gets
Asylum to come to America.
to come to America. Now, while he's in America, he does pro-democracy stuff. But eventually,
2018, he wants to go visit family in
he wants
China.
to go visit family in China. So he's like, crap, all this pro-democracy stuff isn't going to let me get back to China, right? He gets co-opted by the CCP.
Yeah.
One of the scary branches of the CCP, which is their like overseas influence stuff, right? They take him and they get him to go inside of all these pro-democracy groups and start ratting out all the dissidents. So
Yeah,
they're,
spying and-
getting all their information.
Just being a turd, basically.
Yeah, real sick stuff, right? Bad.
You would
bad
think that
stuff.
considering he had been arrested for this pro-democracy stuff in China back in the day that he would have some sympathy?
I guess it's weird. I guess time heals all wounds. I don't.
Changes you into a sinister piece of turd?
Apparently, this is still being investigated. But if this goes through, we're talking about a maximum penalty of 10 years for making and one count of making false statements, which is 5 years, and then who knows what he'll end up with. But this is pretty wild.
That's not enough.
Well, what do you mean? It's like going to be like 20-something years if it's maxed out.
That's still not enough. It should literally, for this kind of thing.
Dead.
Well, yeah, but it should be like...
Unless he lives to be like a bazillion.
Yeah, it should be like life without the possibility of parole ever, even if you live to 200.
Well, the problem is he put a lot of people's lives in danger.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
he really hurt so many people.
Go change the law. Run for office.
I would if I could.
How it is.
I would if I could. Yeah. All right, what's next?
We have this dude. This guy was a U.S. Army analyst, okay? What he was doing, this is maddening, okay? And I'm not talking about the great NFL game.
Yeah, Madden 97 or whatever.
Yeah. You're living back all in 97.
Exactly.
This guy was paid $42,000 in exchange for dozens of sensitive security records. Do you know what this dude gave to China?
What?
He had security clearance to access top secret information, conspired to collect data with someone whom he believed to be living in Hong Kong. And then the Hong Kong resident, so they're probably a handler, right, asked this guy, Sergeant Schultz, to collect sensitive data related to missile defense and mobile artillery systems. And he collected data on U.S. fighter aircraft, military tactics, and U.S. military's defense strategy for Taiwan. Based on what it learned from Russia's war in Ukraine. Now, that's some nasty stuff, dude.
Yep.
So he, the quote is, by conspiring to transmit national defense information to a person living outside the United States, this defendant callously put our national security at risk to cash in on the trust our military placed in him. And that was Assistant Attorney General Matthew Olson of the Department of Justice National Security Division. Now, I want to read you some of these quotes, okay? Here's the indictment. I want to read some of this indictment, okay?
Yeah.
In detailed messages sent to the Hong Kong resident, we'll just call him the supposed handler, right?
Sure.
Sergeant Schultz, this guy that you're looking at, said he wished he could be Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne yesterday.
Yeah, in reference to the fictional spy character. After being promised more money from his handler, he said in another message, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I hope so. I need to get my other BMW back.
This guy's so done. People like this piss me off because see, he's like thinking about like his BMW, right?
Yes.
In America where he lives, but yet he's putting the entire nation at risk.
Yes.
So if
at war, in a wartime scenario,
he's not going to be able to enjoy his BMW or anything in America if China EMPs the whole place and you don't have electricity and stuff.
Or whatever they do.
Because you've just given them all the information to destroy your way of life. Why do these people not think?
It's so selfish, so short-sighted, and so delusional.
Dude, you know what? There's a stigma against BMW drivers. Yeah. He's just making it worse. You know, they always like cut you off and tailgate you and stuff.
That happened to me the other day.
And now they also traidorize your country.
Yeah, apparently.
If that's even a word. BMW drivers, bro.
Well, let's not generalize all of them. BMW
but I mean, he's
cool
one.
Cars. He is one.
Yes.
Well, no, he wanted his BMW back.
His other BMW. That means he's got two. He's a freaking BMW driver, I'm telling you.
He's a BMW hoarder.
Yes.
Anyway, it says the FBI and the U.S. Army Counterintelligence Command are continuing investigations in the case. So I guess it's not wrapped up yet.
Yes. Either way.
Yes.
Freaking BMW drivers,
now,
I'll tell you what. In South Africa, they're the worst. They come like flashy from behind.
Yeah.
Like when you're driving like fast already.
Right.
They're like coming 200 kilometers an hour behind you, like, get out of my way.
I can imagine that in South Africa being worse. You guys drive very aggressively.
Yeah.
You know, in China, Facebook is banned.
That poor baby. That's a real baby.
Imagine one of your first memories is looking up at that.
And I guess it also stops people from having fantasies of going back in time and, like, I don't know, stopping Mao Zedong from taking power or something. You know what I mean? They don't want those fantasies floating around. But
well, I have some stuff to say about this, actually.
Okay. I'm sure you do. One of your all-time favorites.
Yeah, well,
obviously, they don't want anything to do with revolutions and overthrowing government power. It had like the shark, and then it had a massive wave. But in the wave, it had the Fast and Furious cars flipping. You know, like the flipping over. China banned something that it pirated and stole. They stole it and then banned
That's
it.
what-
I love this one's got Xi Jinping's
Is
death
that the
portrait.
Is that the WHO guy?
It looks like it could be Tedros.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind